Right, you join us this afternoon at the Pro 307 Centre for Motoring Excellence.
That's the one.
An innovation.
An innovation.
The Centre of Innovation and Excellence in Innovation. Did anyone want a chocolate roll? These are
them.
you want another one? They're good for you. They're full of vitamins and sugar.
Oh, yeah, they're healthy. That
Sugar's good for energy. You need that. Vitamin B12 and
Go for it.
Send it.
salesmanship. Stuart and I had a late night conversation. We've had a few so far. Normally I'm half gassed. That's how it starts. But the conversation is, it's an extension of one that we had before about what drift car would you buy. And I'm going to wave my chocolate log here as this is my
like a microphone.
Wave it like a microphone. If you had a respectable amount of money to spend on a drift car, not like crazy expensive, let's say you had like 5 or 6 grand, and you want to buy something that's interesting, because you should buy something that's interesting, because drifting is a spectator sport, mind. And part of the problem in the UK, I have decided that part of the problem with UK drifting is that it's a spectator sport where the cars are all the same. Because the interesting cars are either too expensive or they're in Ireland. Would that be a fair thing to say?
Most of them.
Most of them.
And they go there to die. They don't go there for...
They go to Ireland to die.
To die. Could you tell us in Irish what the cars in Ireland are like?
Well, you'll be able to cancel that the shin.
The audio is not broken, ladies and gentlemen.
That
was Irish.
Like, that may cancel you like that, so...
He's not having a stroke.
We have a legitimate Irish person here. Irish Drift Championship. Their grassroots drifting must have loads of choice for cars because they're everywhere and they're cheap. If you wanted to, we were looking at, what was it, a Carlton?
Carlton, yeah. 3 litre GSI one.
3 litre GSI Vauxhall Carlton. It's rear wheel drive from the factory. The suspension's pretty good from the factory, and you can get those in Ireland. But good luck finding one in the UK.
They're classics here.
The manuals are mostly over there. Because that's where the demand is, the manuals.
But even the likes, if you want to get like an Amiga or something,
MV6 ones and stuff.
V6s, they're really hard to get a hold of. I saw a guy selling like 2 that
they're all dead.
Yeah,
they're there, but they're all.
In fact, it was in Ireland. The guy was selling them. He had 2 Amigas built for drifting. It's a skid car.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a different option of a vehicle, an Amiga. If I remember right, last Driftland Bash they had Ryan Turk in an Amiga and he hated it. He thought it was like the worst thing ever. But
left my coffee cup by the camera. We're about to convert the Subaru because I keep saying it, but video to follow about why we're doing a Subaru, pros and cons, and I even did sums. But if you've got 5 or 6 grand to spend, and here's the stipulation, right? And I wrote it down. You ready? If you had around £6,000 to spend, you wanted between 200 and 300 horsepower, so you want some good horsepower, you wanted a car that was MOT and road legal, and you're not allowed to cheat with engine and gearbox swaps. So those Carltons that are automatics, can't use them.
Can I have an Altezza?
If you can find one and get it in the country and road legal, for around £6,000. How much would an Altezza cost you?
For a rough one, about 3 grand, 3.5 grand.
A rough one?
Yeah.
So if it was for drifting, you wouldn't mind the bodywork.
No.
Probably wouldn't mind the service history either.
Probably not.
But could you get it through an MOT?
Yes.
And it could be a road legal vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get this straight. You want a road legal...
MOT'd, road legal. I want to drive it to the skid day.
Assume you're a beginner drifter.
Yes,
ideally you want something
yes.
you can just drive to the track, drift and drive home again.
Because
4-cylinder Altezza, not the 6-cylinder.
Not the 6. So the idea would be if you're a beginner drifter, you don't have a trailer or a car transporter or garages. It needs to be like a daily drifter. Daily drifter for around £6,000. Manual, MOT and road legal. What would you buy?
A BMW
330.
The
other stipulation, previous point, is that it needs to be interesting, right? It's a spectator sport.
Hold on a minute.
I'm going to say, not that we, and we've said this, we've been very clear, it's not that we don't like BMWs. We're just fed up seeing them.
Yes.
We're fed up going to a drift day and it's 6 or 7 BMWs and an MX-5 that isn't running.
It's
Or
funny
can't
because it's
skid.
true. Can't skid.
The MX-5 that doesn't have enough power to pull a skid. The one tyre fire. So that's the stipulation, right? And let me just cover it again, and we'll put tick boxes on the screen. No doubt I'll have to edit it. So just to cover it again, budget of around £6,000. I'm not going to be too strict on that. Somewhere around 200 to 300 horsepower. You want proper grunt. MOT and road legal. No cheating with engine and gearbox swaps. And it cannot be a BMW. Because there are too many already whizzing around the track. And Paul's going to have an Altezza, by the sounds of it.
He's going to have a knackered Altezza.
He's going to have a rough...
rough. Sorry,
That was
rough.
what he
A
said.
track car.
Track ready.
A skid car.
Yeah, it's a skid car, because you're going to rip the interior out of it anyway, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Altezza. Are you gonna have a list
How
on
much
screen
you
of
going to... We'll have a list on the screen, right?
Altezza?
Can you get those in the UK?
Yes.
What are they called?
An Altezza.
Okay. So this is the thing. I wind Paul up because I just think they're all IS200s, but he's been quite clear.
I'm sure are they not?
The imports are
Four-cylinder,
Altezas.
2-litre beams engine.
And that's an Altezza.
That's an Altezza.
What's an IS200?
A 6-cylinder. Piece of shit with 150 brake. I had
And
2 Lexuses. They're not much power. They've got VVTA and they just go.
We're going to see Ewan tomorrow, and Ewan has the solution for that, but he has cheated.
Yeah,
because
that's
Ewan,
cheating. Yes.
Point number 4, Ewan has swapped the engine and the gearbox, so he's cheated. So an Altezza is basically the same as an IS200, but with a different engine.
Yeah, and a slightly different diff.
Import only?
They are imports, yeah. But they're only 1998 they were made. So they stopped making them shortly after that. I think it was 1999 they stopped making them after that.
Can you map
Maybe
them?
2000.
Is it quite a rare car to get now at Altezza?
Here
The
it
beams
is. There's
here, yeah.
so many in Ireland, but that's what I said to go there today.
Ireland take all the cars. They're like
So you can
all the
only
good cars.
Almost
Take
every single twin cam.
Yeah.
A86 over there.
Like those
There's so
juice
many.
box guys are collecting them now.
So many. I know a guy that has a couple like in bubbles. You know what
Wow.
I mean? There's just
Just
he's
waiting.
collecting them.
Yeah.
Waiting for the price to go up.
It's
But
just-
wait, how much is an 86 then?
About 11
They're
grand.
about
12
gold
grand.
Right, so that's
Yeah.
I see one of those.
Yeah.
I see one for 25
For
grand.
not a nice one.
For
Yeah.
for a rough one, a rough Irish 86.
You get the Toyota 11s, which are there as well.
What's an 11?
11. So they're Toyota 11s looks exactly kind of like the 86, but
Right.
it's slightly different.
Still
I think
rear
they're
wheel
20,
drive.
20 valves.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
A86 is 16 valves.
Would it be a
Slightly
controversial kind of thing to say that Corollas are a little bit overrated?
different. Yeah, I think they're overrated.
It's a very
I've never-
controversial
I've never
opinion.
driven one, and we don't see them here at all. It would fill the classification of must be interesting.
They are interesting. I've
Because
seen
there's
one
a lot
at
of scene
Hyper
behind.
Tracks. It's one.
Do you
That
know-
was
yeah,
the Truno.
static meat.
That was the
Truno, yeah,
Truno
yeah.
one as well.
Do you not remember a time when you could pick up an 86 for like 3 grand?
My
Hey,
dad remembers 500.
Not me. Like 6 months, I
pounds.
didn't.
Yeah.
6
Yeah.
months ago, I didn't know what an 86 was. So like we're pretty new to this, but so I can't remember a time.
Do you guys not remember Steer from the Rear at Crail Raceway back in 90?
Nope.
No.
So before drifting was a big thing here, right? They would do like a drift display at car shows.
Right?
Now it's not really a thing because
Like
you
when
can go.
Russ Swift used to drive those minis round in
Yeah.
circles.
Ah,
So
right,
there was 2 300 ZXs with flip paint. You know what?
Oh yeah,
It was
the
all the
classic.
thing in the
all the
Max Power
flips were, they were
times,
all
right?
green mixed with purple, and that was the cheap flip, and
Yeah.
everyone had it.
And there was a 86, and they did a drift display, and it wasn't even like they were close, so we just drift around the track and
Just
it was-
make noise.
Yeah, and they were a
Right.
paid drift display. And back then, you could pick up like an 86 for like, you know, people like just an old Corolla, you know. But now, so the theory is, if you get a time machine, go back in time and collect all the Corollas
Yes.
because you're going to be a millionaire.
Yeah. But not just the
Definitely.
Corollas. These
Oh yeah,
Oh,
these
yeah.
are stupid
and
money.
all of the
Mark II
parts that are
Escorts.
on it.
Yeah.
Mark II Esper
Escorts,
shells.
yeah.
Escort shells.
Did you see
Sierra
China's actually
Cosworths.
pressing
Probably.
panels? They're pressing panels for the Mark II Escorts
Wow.
because they know how much money's in them.
They know there's a market for
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Right, so your Altezza, you're spending £3 grand on your Altezza.
It's 220 brake roughly.
220
Standards.
brake, so it's just inside.
It's just inside.
Rule number 2 of 200 to 300 horsepower.
Make it light enough. It should.
Make it
should
light
skid.
enough. Sell the parts to the
Not,
import
I won't
market.
skid like this, but
No, not much. Not much will. Not much will. Okay, so you're going to put that on the boat. How much to get it over here?
150, 200.
Okay, so it's not expensive to ship it. And
Wait, can you not just
what
like
does it need?
drive on the ferry? And
That's how much it is.
is it?
All right, it's 200 quid for the ferry
Was it?
back from Ireland. Yeah,
What?
that's why people don't go anymore. That's why
300
they're
quid
building
at
walls.
Christmas time.
Ireland's not fucking far
It's too
away.
expensive.
289 quid at Christmas for me.
plus VAT. And the duty free's terrible.
That's just
See?
me and a dog.
Just for him and the dog.
Public transport, folks. Yay!
Yay! Cheaper to save up and buy a helicopter.
Yeah, get a free.
So it's came
That's
to
what it's come to. It's like nothing else for it. We're going to have to build a helipad and have a DIY helicopter. Right, so you've got an Alteza. It's just rolled off the boat into where did they land? Stranraer?
Stranraer.
It's in Stranraer. What does it need?
Vosa's pulled you over.
Probably nothing because it's all done already over there. They don't.
Oh,
keep
okay.
it standard.
So you could get one that's already like
Yeah.
halfway towards
I don't have the
build.
space to build, so
Yeah.
I'll just
Oh well,
Right.
this is assuming a lottery win
like
of
to go.
£6,000. You've won £6,000 on the lottery, the postcode lottery, and so you've got that to spend. But would you then have to do like coilovers? Like I've never driven one. Does it then need coilovers and a handbrake and a turbo kit?
Yeah, you probably need all that.
It needs all
Yeah,
that.
superchargers and stuff. So
But you can do that within £6,000. I suppose if you're buying it for 3,
you could do it within 6,000.
I'm gonna check and see if there is one for 3.
And you could use Ewan's knuckles for the likes of the AS200.
You use the IS200 knuckles. Was it the Minty Fresh knuckles?
The ones that we've
Yeah,
seen
Minty
at,
Fresh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna check in tomorrow and find out what that is. Right. So
I
you
assume
use
it
his,
fits.
I would expect so. It's basically an IS200.
They're all basically nice.
They're
Yeah,
all basically
yeah.
an IS200.
This is all hypothetical, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hypothetical. Right, Dave, what would you buy?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I don't.
You always
What?
wanted a 350Z though.
Can you get one of them for?
I would say
Yeah.
you could just
Rough.
about. Well, it's 6,000. Yeah, I would say
6,000,
6,000.
yeah,
You could get a
350Z.
350.
Okay. I would
That
like
is
a
actually
350Z.
But is it ready to drift?
No. You could probably get a 350Z for 4 road legal, and
Right.
that would give you wiggle room for coilovers, welded diff.
Right, okay.
Well, I think they've got an LSD, haven't they?
Really? That's a.
Maybe hub modifications, but you could
But
drive
we're assuming,
that.
as a beginner,
Yeah.
you would just take
Yeah.
out the skids.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
you
Yeah.
so a 350Z.
Right, let me take a leaf out of page number 3. Here is an auction which is titled Car.
My favourite kind.
This ended on eBay with 42 bids and it sold for £2,800. This is a Nissan 350Z import, a 2003, 100,000 miles, had an MOT for 2 weeks at the point of sale,
Okay.
and apparently it's a great car to drive and runs fantastic. I have this car 5 years. So here it is.
So yeah.
£3,000
So,
that sold
so
for.
yeah, that would do. That's
Battery's not included.
has slight knock.
Yeah, gearbox in boot. No, that's
that's-
sold, and it wasn't like one of those eBay auctions where it pops up and sells for
Yeah.
£4,000 and then 2 weeks later it's back
Yeah.
because the guy didn't pay the money. That's sold
Yeah.
and disappeared from the market. So I think it's sold.
That's a
for £3,000.
legitimate, yeah.
And that would give you then money to spare. Now, we may have just killed what I think is the best option. If you can get a cheap knackered one of them.
the
We've only
R-
just started the conversation.
I would daily drive that. That'd be nice.
the 350Z has got issues with the gearbox. The synchros and the older boxes are known to go in them that give you bother with the boxes. The engines are known to have issues at higher mileage sometimes. They're not the most solid engines.
We saw the one that's lying in Driftland
Yes.
Garage. In fact, cut to clip of the one in Driftland Garage that Jeep blew up.
But that's because he didn't lift off at any point.
Jeep had no sympathy.
At any point.
Yeah.
You need an oil cooler. You do need an oil cooler.
So but if you're buying that for $3,000,
You
got
can
a budget
afford an
for
oil
it.
cooler, yeah.
You can put your
Fudge an oil cooler
coilovers
on
on for a grand or whatever.
BCs, nice bit of bouncy crap. Maybe.
A bit of bouncy crap, BC coilovers, and then you're pretty much golden.
Bouncy crap.
until we're gonna rebrand that. But that's it. And this one,
Sorry.
this one has lots of interior. Like it looked respectable. It looked respectable. So that, I think, is a pretty good option. 350Z, if you can get one that cheap. What else? What would you have? So that you can't have a 350Z.
So let's paint the picture. Let's say you're a little bit of a scene kid and you're like...
That's not us, by the way. We're new to this.
You want to be rolling about in something a bit like JDM and a bit... So you're going to go out looking for...
A little bit status error.
Yes. So you're going to go out looking for a 200, which is the UK 240 or Sylvia in Japan. So for 6,000, I think you could pick up a rotten... Because let's face it, the sills are going to need welded, right? The sills are going to need welded. So let's push it. Let's say 3,000. Let's say you pick up a 200, UK 200.
That is a
for
skip.
3,000, say.
Sometimes you get an auction that says starts, runs, needs some work for an MOT.
Yes.
I'm not sure for £3,000 you would even get one that starts and runs.
TLCs.
It needs 10.
I'm not even sure you could get one in Ireland for £3,000.
So you're going to need about £1,000 in welding, which you've got the budget.
That's a lot of steel.
£1,000 of welding, you basically change a whole car.
Yep.
You can cover up the rest with like your copy Origin Lab kit, And
Yep.
You
You
don't have to paint the kit. Just throw the kit on.
Yep. You can worry about that with next year's drift money.
Yeah. Cheap second-hand coilovers. Everybody's got 200 SX second-hand coilovers.
I never thought about that, but you could get
Second-hand parts, yes.
Because with those cars, the internet is awash with second-hand stuff.
Well the diff.
Okay. Page number 1. A Nissan 200 SX S14A. Turbo 2000, full service history, manual, UK car, not an import, £4,500.
All right.
Now, it's got 130,000 miles in it, but it has 22 stamps in the service history book. Ooh. Now, it says it was serviced every 6,000 miles. He is selling it on behalf of an elderly relative
who's only ever driven to church.
who has owned it for 15 years. Now, the part that drew my attention was that he says it is completely standard and has never been messed with. Chaps, what do you notice in the engine bay of this? Completely standard and never been messed with.
Absolutely stock.
Absolutely stock.
Apart from
the massive fucking front mount intercooler. It is... Wait, is that the one? Does it mention the front mount intercooler on that one?
Where's it got nardy steering wheels?
It's completely standard.
I like the painted Nissan and the rocker cover.
Like he's gone to the extra effort with that one.
But what if it was like my old Audi that I wasn't sure if it had an intercooler leak, so I just did away with it and put a front mount intercooler in instead.
So maybe that was a maintenance method.
So maybe it had a leak and I went, I'll just put a... Because you can get cheap front mounts for,
I feel like there was a bit of lies going on in
they did have a picture in the auction of the 22 stamps in the service history, but I don't doubt
the young boy said to him, Dad, I think it's all in the intercooler. I'm going to get a different one.
Dad, there's a problem with the boost controller. I'm going to get a different one.
I'm going to wind it up.
Is that got a picture of the interior as well?
No.
It was very cream in there. It was luxurious. Carpets were in good condition.
It's got nice you asked about it.
It's got parts on it, so starts perfectly, runs beautiful. Plenty of power when you put it. This is MOT'd and full service history, even at 130,000 miles, and it's a manual. Kindly pointed out to me the vehicle has previously had some welding to the seat belt mounts to pass its previous MOT, but he doesn't expect major work will be required.
Okay.
See, if the welding's to be done to the seatbelt mounts, I'm concerned about the rest of the chassis.
If the inside of the car is rotten. Like, what's going on outside?
If someone
the sills have rotted.
If someone spotted the in the seatbelt area, because I think you're allowed whatever it is, so many mil round about it, that's needed welded because it's a seatbelt point. Yep. What's the rest of it? It's slightly further out of that zone.
So it's rotted from the sill to the seat belt mount.
Spread all the way inside. Yeah, they've fixed the sills now, and the rot is inside the bodywork now.
You can't see it now. It's fine.
So it is possible to get one of those in budget, and questionable service history, I guess, but it's there.
No VVTi rattle.
I think they will all have VVTi rattle at that point. So it's an option for you. I think you'll buy some work for yourself if you do that.
Mainly welding.
Mainly welding. Drift
So,
once.
if you want to learn to weld, that's the car for you. All right.
If you want to learn to weld rust,
If you want to learn to weld new steel onto rust, then that's the car for you. Right. So 200 SX is an option. Okay. How about JDM?
Ooh.
Do you think you can get anything that is import or like legit JDM within budget?
This depends. If you got a guy, sometimes if you know a guy who knows a guy, you can get like an import in for like decent.
On eBay for 6,250, RB25 Det, Nissan Laurel.
Mm.
It isn't even registered yet. It's a fresh import. Have a look.
It's got a drift button. It's got an RD steering wheel. It's got wheels on it.
If it has the Nardi steering wheel, does that mean it's been drifted already?
You know not always, but it's suspicious. I mean, if you saw that, right?
yeah, that's got drift written all over it.
Because that would be driven in Japan by an elderly gent.
It's probably like scuff marks where it's been hitting the wall at Ibitsu or something. You know, it's like
the Grady front munt and the front munt.
Front munt.
The Grady front munt and the Blitz boost controller draw my suspicions. Wait, Zeal coilovers, is that who makes your the little baggy things that you had earlier on?
no, it's Feel.
Oh,
It's
so I
Feel.
wonder if Zeal are like the discount version of Feel.
Yeah, but no, mine are the discount version of Zeal probably.
So it's low miles, 78,000 miles.
It is.
And it is unregistered in the UK. And this man is willing to help you.
It's rare and powerful.
Well, what's an RB25 Det from the factory? It's got to be 200 horsepower anyway.
200 and would you go as far as saying 50? Is it 250? 230, I think.
I think it's between. It's in. It's in.
Because the
our- it's in our
RB26 is
criteria.
like 260 from a R32. Well, they say it is. It's probably not on paper, but
It is in
yes, that-
criteria.
The Japanese
yeah,
gentleman's
they
agreement.
They cheated a little
Yeah.
bit with the GTRs, didn't they?
Now, if you get that, you've now got seen JDM. You will be the coolest person at the track, but your budget's gone.
Yeah,
That is pretty seen, to be honest.
but
as,
you've
you
got
know.
nothing left. Yeah.
You got nothing left. That's fine if you want to roll it to car shows, but I'm not sure it's the best option for drifting. And as soon as you bash it off something, you've got no chance finding
No,
parts,
what-
and your budget's gone.
What are you going to fix it
Okay,
with?
you
It's-
know-
You don't even have money left to service it. You'd have to sell the Grady front man
Front
mount.
and
Easy for you to
pay
say.
for your service. But it's
Don't miss out.
we don't miss out. Yeah.
Rare and powerful.
Okay, so that's JDM. It is possible for around 6,000, but you've got no options of what you can do with it. Shall we have another? This is the budget stretcher.
Oh,
It is the most seen, well, the second most seen. The most seen would be the Supra, but you'd be fuck all chance for 6. Even the NA automatic ones are more than £6,000. Here it is. This one has a mounter cooler.
Mounter.
I say what now?
Oh, no, okay. An R33. Yes.
The boat.
He says.
The boat.
He's not convinced of the first look.
There's not enough small print.
How many miles? Oh, it's kilometres. Oh,
It's got
God, it's in kilometres.
165,000
176,000 miles. What?
Okay, wait, so it was converted at 165k,
Oh,
but what is it
okay.
now?
Converted to what?
So the
Wait,
kilometres to miles.
Oh, right. No,
Hang on.
not like converted to
He
LPG.
says it was converted to miles at 165k, but the clocks now show 176k? Does that mean this is 176,000 miles on it? Read that first line and see if you can make maths work.
What? Wait,
Is this the maths you were
lost it
speaking
now.
about?
Yeah, there might be maths.
Yeah,
Clock show 176, but it was converted to miles at 165. So does it not show miles? If it's still
If it still shows, if it's now been converted and it's showing miles, that means it's got 176,000 miles.
wait,
This is a terrible way
Oh,
to sell a Skyline.
wait.
Just like with
what's
confusion.
what's 176 take away 165?
11.
So it's done 11,000 miles since it's been done.
Is that right?
But does that mean it's now showing 176,000 miles?
Yes.
Okay, but when they convert it, do they multiply and then change the clock number?
No,
the number
no.
stays the same.
Number
as
stays the
clock.
same.
But
Yeah,
you're
You just,
adding
yeah,
miles
you
that's
just
or
put your
adding
thingy box in the
kilometres.
back of the thing to make it.
Right.
That makes sense now. Yeah, we're on it.
Okay. Other thoughts about this? Again, your budget is gone.
Upgraded clutch. exhaust, mounter cooler,
Mounter cooler. Very important to have a mounter
132
cooler.
actuator, blah 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 blah.
Looks cool.
It
Looks
is
cool.
so seen.
340 horsepower.
It's got power.
It's got power.
It exceeds rule number 1 of power.
Yeah.
What? No. Rule number 1 was budget. Rule number 2 was power. It exceeds rule number
It's
2.
had a new boot floor
Oh.
already.
That means rot,
Yes.
which is inevitable with a 15-year-old Skyline,
They're really bad for strut mounts at the front.
and you need those.
Yeah, for MOT I'm thinking, you know.
Oh, of course, 'cause it's going
It
to
says
be.
the
this one
strut
got-
tops are in good condition, but it doesn't say if that's
Oh.
rear strut tops or front strut tops.
Check him out with his insider knowledge of GDM stuff.
I know stuff. I know
Oh,
stuff.
did you just read it over the cup?
No.
Okay. He's been cheating.
But your budget's blown. You're,
Oh, the budget's
Oh, yeah, it's
you're-
gone,
You're
man.
over
It's
the
gone.
budget. You've had to take out of your own pocket
Yeah.
after your postcode lottery win. You've had to take your own money.
You've had to get a Wonga loan of £800.
A payday
you're
loan.
into
So you're-
Wonga now
You're
for-
paying £6,000 for that back.
Yeah.
So,
You've ruined your life,
you've
basically.
ruined your life.
Full service history. He's got some paperwork for bits that's had done over the years, but by no means is it full service history. That makes me suspicious. Right, so it's got rust on the arches, it's got rust on the jacking points, it's got peeling lacquer above the door, there's no paint on the front bumper, but mechanically it runs and drives, and he's offered to include some parts for it. But you've blown your budget, and it's not ready to drift.
No.
Did it have coilies on it?
But you do have a Skyline now.
But you've got a
And you
Skyline.
can say that. You can tell
You've got a
people.
Skyline. Yeah.
That's a prime example
I
of
got
drift tax, though, because that car is not worth 6,800.
Oh, no.
Because it's a Skyline.
I just leave it.
It's,
I just tell people
I'd
about
still
it.
do
Oh, so
You would
because this is
know
a
that's
Skyline,
Skyline.
he was saying scene tax.
Yes.
So that car in no way is worth 6,800.
Oh, no,
but
no.
because it's a Skyline,
Because it's a Skyline.
scene tax,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. But that's whenever we go to a show, there's two
Fuck
things.
you, Fast and Furious.
And we're demonetized.
you beat that.
Just by using the word Fast and Furious, you get demonetized. They'll just claim a copyright on it. Right, so it's got the clush,
Clush?
an uprated clush,
Ah.
and the front mounter cooler, and it's not ready to drift, unfortunately. And forever you'll be buying parts and welding it. Okay. Oh, I don't know which one to go first. Let's get it out of the way, right? I said no BMW.
Oh, wait, what?
Oh.
You said.
I said no BMW, but I just want to show that we're not completely against BMWs. We just don't want to see the same BMWs going round again. Okay, so this is a two-part special. If you want to see the second part of our discussion, head over to the Pro 307 channel now. We're going to talk about BMWs that you can buy, some pre-built drift cars, and have a bit more of a laugh at Stuart's expense. Go and check out his channel now. He's at youtube.com/pro307, or you can click on the thumbnail here.